y'all?
We got Hollis Famous Burgers with Cipher of Sounds. What's up, Cipher?
What's up?
He giving us a little information on his life and how he got into DJing. We're deep into the story, but you can go ahead and kick it, Mr. Cipher of Sounds.
Right. I came here in South Jamaica, Queens, from Montgomery, Alabama in 1967. Alabama.
Right.
And then from there, went to school at 48, PS 48 in South Jamaica, Queens. And did pretty good. Had problems when I was in school. Wasn't too good in comprehending stuff because I was dyslexic. Wasn't good in reading, but I was real good in art and drawing and music and stuff like that. Then about time 1973 came in, I was interested in music. They had these old school DJs to come in our neighborhood named Pete DJ Jones.
Pete DJ Jones, legendary.
Yup, you had Grandmaster Flowers.
Yes.
You had Maboya, Riff and Cliff, all these old school DJs. Then I said, yo, that's what I want to do. That was about 13 then. And then about the time I got to the age of 14, I used to give a lot of house parties in my basement. My mom allowed me to give house parties. And I made my first real money doing house parties. I was charging like 50 cents for the guys, for the girls to get in, and 75 cents for the guys.
What year we talking about now? 14, you were probably
about 1974.
high school.
1974, I was about 14.
So you were
I was doing a lot of little house parties. You know, you give your little index cards.
Right. I remember that.
So then I got the
you
bug.
used to write your favorite record on the top of the index card, right?
Yep,
okay.
I used to do all that.
Yes.
And then from there, I met DJ Divine at a daycare center. It was summer camp.
So we're talking about DJ Divine of now Infinity Machine.
Machine.
Okay.
He was my group leader because he got me about 3 years. I think he was much older than me. I was about 14. He was 18 or something like that.
Yes.
And but we had a similar type of I would say similar type of thing that we did together, that we like music. We had the same common goals in life.
Yes.
And I used to look up to him as a big brother. And say about 1974 going to 75, that's when he started a DJ. It was Justice, Divine Justice, and him started putting a thing together, a group together. They didn't have a name at the time. And I asked, I wanted to get down. And then we got our first real party back in 1975 at the Third Eye on Rockaway Boulevard.
Wow, now that's history.
That's when I was a 5%er. My name was Understanding. My Divine was Divine. And we had Justice. His name was Divine Justice. And at that party, the person who gave the party asked us, yo, we gonna put y'all down to DJ, but what's your names? We didn't have a name. So Justice looked around, I looked at Justice, Divine looked at Justice, we all looked at each other, and Justice said, Cipher Sound, that's gonna be our name.
You just came off the top of the head?
Straight off the bat.
Cipher? Oh, wow.
He came up with that name. And then from there, the brother said, okay, Cipher Sound, that's your name, all right, we're gonna put it down. No, matter of fact, he said Cipher of Sound.
Okay.
And then we went with that. Later, over the years, we changed it, but came up with that name. And then from there, we started doing a lot of parties, getting a name for ourselves. Then we met this gentleman named Ronald Flemings, who had a lot of equipment.
Yes.
At that time, me and Divine didn't have a lot of equipment. We was borrowing stuff for people to use to play with. And a year later, the guy who was with our group, Divine Justice,
yes.
Before we met Flemings, that is, we gave a party and we made like, I think $62. That was a lot of money to us that time. We DJ.
I mean, you were teenagers, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, so.
Justice wound up stealing the money. And Divine was getting on them because the money was meant for us to buy some turntables.
Yes.
And then once we got the money back, Divine was like, yo, he's out of the group.
Wow.
So it was just me and Divine. And then we went out and bought our first real pitch control turntables. And that was Techniques SL23s. It was belt driven. No, it was the B23s.
That was before 1200.
Before the 1200s.
Yes.
1200s was just coming out then, but we couldn't afford it.
Yes.
Because just getting the turntables, they was like I think $60 a piece to turntable. So we had bought one, then we waited, made some more money, bought another one, and then we got our first mixer, put it all together. And then me and Divine used to watch this group called New Sounds on how they would mix.
New Sounds?
Yeah, New
okay,
Sounds.
I remember New Sounds.
New Sounds, King Charles. At that time, and Disco Twins was like our idols because they would mix. In those days, DJ Jones didn't mix, he would just throw records on. He didn't know how to mix. The first people we ever seen really blend a record well was the Disco Twins, first New Sounds, King Charles, and the Disco Twins. We used to go out to Corona, 127 Park, and watch them go out there and do their thing. And it was different. He was like, yo, we gotta learn that. So Divine learned, started practicing. Me and him used to practice a lot. And I never forget when Divine got it. He said, yo, you're supposed to catch the snare, catch it on the beat, and then throw it in like this, and then you make sure it's at the same speed. And when he locked on, he showed me how to do it. Then once we learned how to mix, we started coming up with techniques on how to mix and blend and put things together.
Yes.
And this is around, that time was around 76, going into 76. And we started building a real name for ourselves because we used to go out outside the parks and DJ. Doesn't matter. Soon April came in, we went outside.
Oh, I remember St. Albans Park on Merrick Boulevard.
St. Albans
Park. That was your park.
We did Lincoln Park. They used to call Lincoln Park in the dark. We did 48 Park. We did a lot of parks. Danwick Park. And we started building a real rapport and a real big name for ourselves with a lot of people in the neighborhood. And then at that time, we met this guy named Michael Goody, who was really fascinated over us and said, yo, y'all guys are good. And check it out, my parents got a lot of money. They offered me to buy a lot of equipment. And he came to me and asked me if I wanted to get down with him and leave Fleming's. I said, nah, man, I'm stick with what I got, man. We built this, me and Divine, it's called Cipher of Sounds. We got Fleming's who helping us out with the equipment. We good.
Yes.
Well, Divine didn't have a good rapport with Fleming's. He didn't like it. So Divine, when Goody stepped to Divine went for the offer from Goody.
Yes.
And he wound up going with Michael Goody to start a group called Infinity Machine.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now we know how Infinity Machine started.
That's how Infinity Machine started. And at that time, I thought I lost my best friend, my mentor, everything, because I used to look up to Divine for everything. And when he left, I can remember that to this day, that when he did that, I felt like lost, didn't know what I was going to do, nervous.
Wow.
And everybody said, yo, man, you can hold it down, man. You can DJ, you got skills too.
It gave you an opportunity to be independent and grow.
Hey, Divine told me, he said, yo, understand, you can do it. You don't need me. You know, I want to do my thing, you do it. And then, you know, and I told him, yo, but we can corner the market in Queens because we're the best in Queens.
Yes, yes.
And SouthSide, Jamaica, Queens at the time.
Yes.
I mean, he wasn't the best all over Queens because he had New Sounds, Infinity, you had New Sounds, you had the Disco Twins, you had King Charles. Mind you, we couldn't even compete with those guys sound-wise because they had the big systems.
Yes.
What we did compete with them in, and is actually mixing and blending and doing cuts.
Yes.
He was good at that. So when Divine left, my close cousin to me was my cousin Prince Divine. He became like the second DJ in the crew of Cipher of Sounds.
Yes.
And so Prince Divine would DJ when I would have him come on and do the DJ until the crowd built up, so he can get his skills together.
Okay.
And then when it was time for showtime, I would come on and bring my MC, which would be my brother Onion. I would have my cousin Young Guy, who was Busy BYG. I have this other brother named Spanky, which he was the one who gave Cipher Sound much flavor in those days because
I remember him.
Spanky came from Bronx.
He was nice.
And he had that Bronx flavor.
Yes.
And at that time, Brothers of Queens, he was rapping, but we didn't have that real ill skill that had in Bronx.
No, and I can attest to that because I hung out with Bronx River and went to 123, and they were into the MC deep.
Yeah, he was real good MC.
Yes.
So when he came to Queens, he had introduced himself to me and said, yo, I'm Spanky, yo, I'm from Bronx, and yo, I dig the way you do your mixing and shit, yo. I want you to, I want to get down with you.
Okay.
Your MC. I said, yeah. And then when I heard how he sounded, I said, yo, this brother's talented. So at the time I was experimenting with drum machines because the only way that Cipher Sound competed with Confetti Machine and all the other local DJs in the area, because it started to grow big because everybody started wanting to be a DJ.
Yeah, all of the crews started popping up around that time.
I said to myself, I'm gonna give a show.
Yes.
Where I come on doing a certain technique and spanking with rap. Then I had this other guy named KC who can sing. So he would do things like, girl, if you come nearer, it would be much clearer that the Cipher Sounds is here.
Okay.
And if you come, I forgot all the words to it, but he would sing something like that to that effect. And then I would do a cut with it, and then boom, come on. And then Spanking would come on and rap.
Okay.
With my brother Onion, Young God, who else? Rocky. I had a lot of rappers over the years, but that's what gave us our name. Everybody wanted to check us out because of that, and that lasted from 76 going into 77. And that's when I ran into Russell Simmons. Matter of fact, before I ran into Russell Simmons, the gentleman by the name of...
I'm sorry, but I just want you... I want you to get into talk about Russell, but I want you to get into talking about Fantasia, ISA,
that's what I'm going to get
and La Chalet. Okay.
That's what I'm going to get to. Now, before that, Russell, we made a name by a guy by the name of Winston. Came to my house one day, rang the doorbell and said, yo, we starting this club called Fantasia. I heard you guys are the hottest DJs in town, and we want to know if you guys want to be the house DJs. And I said, yeah, where's the club going to be at? He said, on Merrick Boulevard. We want to know, can we DJ for them? I think at that time, you offered me $150. I mean, it was a decent amount of money at that time. But we said, nah, man, we make more money DJing in the clubs. I mean, in the gyms, because we do our own thing. He said, no, we don't want to hold you back. You still do your thing, but we want you to open it up for rocking it for the next couple of months. And then they brought the price up. We'll give you $250. And I said, well, we're going to give us $250, might as well go ahead. So it's guaranteed money. Plus, we could do certain nights anyway. So we went that way. Everything worked out. We did the grand opening. I think it was $1 to get in. I think we pulled in about 1,000 people in that place.
Wow, I would love to see that flyer if it still exists.
I don't have the flyer. It's one of the flyers over there that got a Fantasia, but that was later after we was there for about a year or so. That's when they brought in a lot of other DJs. But we realized then when we had a name that we was kind of like enclosed in the Fantasia, and we were just getting that little money. We realized we could make the big money by giving the parties ourselves. So we talked to the guy and said, look, man, we can't DJ here every weekend. We have to spread our wings. So we started giving parties at ISA. And other guys would get parties at... So I remember it was a time everybody's like, yo, Circa Sounds at ISA, they're not at Fantasia. So we would pull that crowd that was at Fantasia to ISA.
Okay.
But we still would pull a big crowd from the ISA side because there was a lot of people on that side of town that would come, like 40 Projects, Sufton Boulevard crew, and even across the bridge over there by Lincoln Park crew. And then the people that would go to Fantasia mainly came from Hollis, they came from St. Albans, Cambridge Heights, and those areas.
And Merrick Boulevard, that area.
Merrick Boulevard. So people would go back and forth to parties because there was only $1.
Right.
But on that, I'm just gonna have to end it here, and then we'll just pick it up.
Okay.
I gotta get out of here in 5 minutes. But just a brief on just that part of it, and that's 1977. We get a chance, we get back together. I'll tell you from 77 on through.
Okay, so we gotta transcribe this and send it to you, and then we're gonna take it from there. And we are speaking with Cipher Sounds, the original Cipher Sounds, not the duplicate Cipher Sounds.
Don't get gas.
No, the original
I think he was born like 1978.
Right.
In 1978, I was 18 making money.
You youngins, look, you have to honor and respect the hip-hop pioneers. They laid the foundation. Stop stealing their names. This is Eva Marie King, MS, on Facebook, YouTube, and MySpace. We at Hollis Hip Hop Museum with the one and only original Cipher Sounds. shout out to JMJ from Hollis to Hollywood.